What does the actual future of education look like on the ground? Well, let's dive right into this explainer of the June and July 2026 report from the PG Department of Food Science and Nutrition at Holy Cross Home Science College in Thoothukudi. If you're passionate about how local institutions are actively bridging the gap between traditional community health and cutting-edge digital literacy, you are going to absolutely love what we uncover here. We aren't just looking at a standard academic report today, we're looking at a literal blueprint for holistic empowerment in 2026. Today, we're breaking this down into 5 quick sections: vision and demographics, faculty growth, student success, holistic health, and finally, mentorship and teaching. It all starts with their mission statement, which is all about producing quality and holistic graduates. But honestly, that begs the question, how exactly does a local college pull that off in 2026? It's super easy to write that you want well-rounded students, but executing it in a fast-changing world is a whole other ballgame. As you'll see, this department isn't just teaching textbook nutrition. They're building fully digitally fluent professionals. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Vision and Demographics, focusing specifically on their 2026 student profile. Looking at the 15 newly admitted undergraduate women this term, we see a totally unexpected, near-even split. We've got 8 urban students and 7 rural students. That's a huge deal because it shows this institution is serving as a critical bridge. They're bringing together students from potentially vastly different backgrounds and giving them all a unified, high-level scientific education. And here is where the stakes get incredibly high. Exactly 5 of those incoming undergrads are first-generation learners. Think about that for a second. 1/3 of these new students are the very first in their entire families to ever pursue higher education. This makes the educational bridge they provide so vital. They aren't just teaching individuals, they're actively elevating entire families and communities. Now, to teach a modern curriculum, you absolutely need modernized educators. That brings us to Section 2, Faculty Growth and Modernizing Education. This department is anchored by some serious experience. We're talking Dr. Mathoravali with over 33 years, Dr. Rutha with over 21 years, and Dr. Carolyn with over 17 years. That is a massive reservoir of foundational knowledge in food science and dietetics. But, having decades of experience can sometimes mean a department gets a bit stuck in its ways. Well, the brilliant part of this report is what these seasoned educators did next. Here is the real game changer. Despite all those years of tenure, faculty members like Mrs. Carolyn and Mrs. Marithangham went out and upskilled in Google's Gemini AI Academy and Super Searchers workshops in June 2026. I mean, wow, you've got veteran nutrition scientists actively integrating cutting-edge artificial intelligence into their toolkits. They're modeling the exact kind of lifelong learning they want their students to have. They're bringing that exact modern mindset straight into their academic publishing, too. In the book Integrative Approaches in Science, Arts, and Technology, Mrs. Carolyn tackles a rising global concern with a chapter on autoimmune diseases. Meanwhile, Miss Melita Grace hits the nail on the head with an incredibly timely piece, Combating Nutrition Misinformation in the Digital Era. It proves this faculty is acutely aware of the world their students are stepping into, a world where social media influencers often speak louder than actual clinical science. Let's shift focus to the students themselves in Section 3, Student Success and Diverse Skills. A massive group of 89 students jumped into extra certificate courses, and the variety here is just brilliant. You've got 18 students mastering yoga and 27 learning fireless cooking, really grounding themselves in traditional wellness and sustainability. But then you have 11 students diving into Photoshop. Why on earth does a food science student need Photoshop? Because in 2026, if you're a dietitian, you have to know how to communicate your science visually online. You have to combat that digital misinformation we were just talking about. This is what real holistic education looks like. Of course, all these diverse skills are backed up by some seriously rigorous, hands-on training. 11 students knocked out intensive, month-long dietetics internships at top-tier locations like Anaya Velankani Hospital in Tirunelveli and Meenakshi Mission Hospital in Madurai. This bridges the gap perfectly between classroom theories and real clinical reality. Moving beyond the classroom walls, we hit Section 4, Holistic Health and Department Activities. Talk about injecting energy into the campus. On June 19th, they hosted a Zumba fitness program that pulled in an awesome 81 participants. It was led by dietitian Yasotha Krishnan from Vekura Wellness Clinic. And honestly, it's so cool to see them actually practicing what they preach. A nutrition department should absolutely be a beacon of active, healthy living. Just a few days later, they pivoted right from physical health to digital health. Alumnus Secretary Mrs. Josephine Perfat came back to lead an orientation strictly on social media awareness. This is a perfect callback to the faculty's focus on fighting digital misinformation. By bringing in an alum, they're building a strong network while making sure their students know how to actually navigate and protect themselves online. And they definitely aren't keeping all this knowledge to themselves. The students actively pushed out into the local community. They ran an anemia awareness survey in Amanpuram, jumped into a trash-to-cash circular economy project, and incredible as it is, during a natural disaster relief camp at Kila Valanadu, 3 specific BSc students, Akshaya, Sruthi, Subhasri, and Pakia Lakshmi, stepped right up to help with the organized relief efforts. That is community impact in action. So, how is the day-to-day actually managed for all this? Let's look at Section 5, Mentorship and Teaching with a focus on digital methods. It's this really fascinating duality. On the human side, they run a highly dedicated ward mentor system. Dr. Carolyn, for instance, mentors 27 specific students to ensure nobody slips through the cracks, which is super crucial for those first-generation learners we highlighted. But then on the tech side, they blend that high-touch mentorship with a fully digital learning system. We're talking Google Classroom for assignments, smart classrooms for e-content, instant WhatsApp groups for notes, and online quizzes. It's a highly efficient, multi-channel approach. So after seeing rural, first-generation learners master clinical dietetics, practice yoga, upskill in AI, and actively fight digital misinformation, we really have to ask the big question: is this localized blend of deep human mentorship and rigorous digital modernization the ultimate blueprint for the future of higher education? It absolutely makes you wonder what could happen if every institution adopted this kind of holistic framework. Definitely something to chew on as we wrap up today's explainer.